Hello everybody, so welcome to my new video titled You Are Writing First Contact Deemed Sci-Fi Wrong. Here is how to do it right. This is a retelling of The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. It's not just a traditional manga. It's manga based on Jacques Lacan. So it's almost like a Frenchified, manga. Anyway, it's something like a shining manga or whatever you guys want to call it. Here you have a Martian spacecraft. Here you have the pilot. Here you have a tiny ship designed to catch small schools of fish. This is we call it trela in Icelandic. This is in Faxaflói. So here you see in air, on earth, they all thought that was it. And somewhere here, in air, on earth, in water, all at once. And you looked at his eye, as lifeless as a brutalist building by Hadid. That dead but staring eye. See? Simple. This is a dead squid pilot. That's it. That's how you make a realistic Martian adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel. Here you can see one of the tentacles of one of the squid's tentacles. And here you can see its body. You can see the sun. You can see what happened when it died. It escorted out of the craft when the window broke. And here is the front, here is part of the wings begin to show up. And here you can see the squid's mouth. Here you see another spacecraft. Here you see clouds. Here you see the craft crash land onto the base. Here you can see the squid itself. That's not a normal squid. That's a squid which can glide. It can fly. Here you can see H.G. Wells. In this manga, he is not the author of The War of the Worlds, Edgar Allan Poe, because I decided to have a completely different storyline. Here you see an Icelandic official making an announcement. You see a bunch of alien craft here. Here you can see Mars, Phobos, and Deimos. These look relatively silly, but they can be made more and more realistic, as in the case with these old-style pilotless, tripods. Here you see another pilotless tripod. Here you see an older generation, older style one. And if you really want to adapt War of the Worlds into something scary, let it happen first in Argentine. That's right, this happens somewhere in Argentina. This one, then later on it moves on to Vietnam. You can see them try to tear down these are Vietnamese boats. You can see them try to tear down a pilotless craft. You introduce pilotless, Here are birds, here are some Vietnamese islands, broken legs here, part of the tripod. Here you see a Martian spacecraft. The craft is over here, and that's a craft flying in space. You want it to be in space, then that's the way you do it. And here you can see some craft preparing themselves to visit Earth. Tourists on a beach looking at military helicopters there, wondering what the heck is going on. And here you see the birds, they're becoming confused. There is this lady here, she is walking. She looks quite pretty. Of course, not very natural. The birds are not in a very natural formation here. And that is where we keep the Martian space. This is Antarctica. That's one of those flying squids, and here you see flying squids come from out of this thing here. They glide from out of it, and you can see them starting to preparing themselves. What are they doing? Well, they are basically following orders, like people did during COVID times, and Nazi Germany and all of that kind of stuff. Here we can see later on in the story squids simply gliding out of the ocean. This is how you do it. This is how you retell the War of the Worlds. And here you can see ginormous squids, 2 squids, carrying a US aircraft carrier into the sky. And here you can see the aircraft and everything else dropping out of the carriers, and the people on board, they are basically just hoping that somebody is going to come and save them. And while you know the basics of Lacanian horror, there is no salvation in Lacanian horror. Here you see a family member. She wanted to be added to the story, so here she is. She is looking at the gliding squids in front of her window. So keep in mind, the squids in this story, they are following orders from others. This is the Icelandic president. No, that's not going to how Jóhannesson. This is sometime far in the future, and he's basically telling people that the humanity and the Martians are at war now, and Iceland needs to start building underground shelters beneath its shopping malls, or wherever you guys think is a smart idea to keep the shopping centers. This is how you visualize the War of the Worlds. What would happen? You change things a little bit. In my narration, H.G. Wells did not write it, Edgar Allan Poe did. And Poe compiled it from the survivor testimonies. And that's how it became known as the War of the Worlds. So when H.G. Wells was living far, far late in time and in his own science fiction study, he's told what's going on. He is at first skeptical, and he is basically a Western Icelandic Coast Guard officer who works at the Coast Guard. He is an officer on board of one of the Icelandic Coast Guard ships. And that's how you make the War of the Worlds scary. That's how you do a War of the Worlds adaptation. That's it.